Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Alabama QB Jalen Milroe sends Steelers public message after dinner with Tomlin. The Pittsburgh Steelers appear to be taking a long look at Alabama quarterback prospect Jalen Milroe. According to NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero late last night on March 18, former Alabama QB Jalen Milroe had dinner tonight in Tuscaloosa with Steelers coach Mike Tomlin, GM Omar Khan and QB's coach Tom Arth ahead of his pro day, per source. Pelissero also reminded that Pittsburgh, which continues to explore all options at the QB position, owns the number 21 pick in April's draft. After an impressive pro day performance from Milroe, more on that below, the dual-threat quarterback relayed a very clear and public message to the Steelers organization, via ABC 3340 News reporter Chris McCulley. "I just thought it was a great opportunity to build with the Steelers," Milroe voiced, regarding the dinner. "I remember watching the AFC North and the battles that they have growing up. So now, to have the opportunity to be around Coach Tomlin, I don't take it lightly at all." Concluding confidently, "If the opportunity presents itself for me to be his quarterback, I'll take full advantage of it." Jalen Milroe increases draft stock at Pro Day with Steelers and entire NFL watching. Milroe definitely gave his draft stock a bump on March 19, and it wasn't just the fact that he looked absolutely jacked, to quote the Pat McAfee show. Checked in with 4 teams at Alabama's Pro Day, and 3 had QB Jalen Milroe at a 4.45 second 40-yard dash and another had him at 4.44, Sports Illustrated insider Albert Breer reported live from Alabama. "That's still really, really good for a 216-pound QB, if not quite what's floating around. It came on his second run. I got 4.48 and 4.51 for times on the first run." For reference, Lamar Jackson ran a 4.34 second 40-yard dash and other mobile quarterbacks, with a more similar build as Milroe, like Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen ran a 4.59 and a 4.75, respectively. Want one more NFL comparison when it comes to Milroe's speed? If the 4.44 reading Breer mentioned was accurate, the incoming rookie beat recent Steelers quarterback Justin Fields' 4.45 by a tenth of a second. More important than his speed and frame might be Milroe's ability as a passer, however. This is the big question mark when it comes to the Alabama signal caller, and from what The Athletic's Jeff Howe reported, Milroe did well on Wednesday. Jalen Milroe just wrapped up his throwing session at Alabama's Pro Day. Howe relayed on X he completed 45 of 52 passes. "I discarded one that hit the netting on the roof, 53 throws overall. There was also a drop. These were one-man routes without any defenders on the field." Steelers HC Mike Tomlin dropped major Jalen Milroe hint after the 2024 season ended. Tomlin has hinted that Milroe would be an option since the end of the season, for those who were listening closely. Lamar Jackson wasn't taken at the top of the draft, Jalen Hurts wasn't taken in the first round. "So, I don't know that I necessarily agree with the question," Tomlin told a reporter during his end-of-year press conference, when asked about the Steelers needing to potentially have a season where they'd take a step back in order to find an elite QB in the draft, and whether that was done purposefully or subconsciously. "There's only one QB in this draft class that truly compares to both Jackson and Hurts physically. That's Milroe. Of course, that's not to say Milroe will turn out to be as good an NFL player as those two superstars. There have been plenty of physically dominant quarterbacks that fail at the pro level. Just look at Anthony Richardson's struggles with the Indianapolis Colts as a recent example. Aaron Rodgers' move into TV gets brutal prediction from experts given his looks and his intellect and his high profile. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers, once he's done flirting with the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the New York Giants and approaching age 42, maybe playing one more NFL season, will quite naturally slide straight from the locker room into the broadcast booth. Right? Problem: the fact that many who've come to know Rodgers over the course of his future Hall of Fame career can't stand him. A Rodgers deal with Pittsburgh could push the Steelers into the playoffs once again. A deal with the Giants would have him cross the hall after 2 seasons with the Jets in an attempt to pull the G-Men out of the NFC gutter. A retirement in advance of the 2025 season? That's part of the rumor mill as well, and Rodgers surely loves the attention that comes with all of this drama. But not everybody loves Aaron. Steelers defensive tackle Cam Hayward, a team captain, stated it in a way that is straight and to the point on a Tuesday podcast. "I ain't doing that darkness retreat. I don't need any of that crap," Hayward said. "Either you want to be a Steeler or you don't. It's simple. That's the pitch." This echoes what front office sports Michael McCarthy is reporting when it comes to Rodgers' future as a TV analyst. "I spoke with sources at multiple NFL media partners, as well as agents, to gauge his prospects," McCarthy writes. "I found surprisingly little interest in one of the league's all-time great QBs. But why? He's got the look. He's got the intellect. Don't believe it? Just ask him." That high profile, though, maybe, in a way, that's a negative because it means people have gotten to know him. Yes, he could be a great analyst. But he's insufferable, one source told FOS. Said another, "Rodgers needs an image rehab." Turning our attention to Schoen, he had Wilson at the Giants facility for more than a day last week and they had plenty of time to discuss a deal. The holdup is Wilson is looking for a second year, while Schoen and the Giants are only offering a 1-year pact. Schoen needs to relent and give Wilson the second year he is looking for and get this deal done before the Giants lose out on a second veteran quarterback. They had former number 1 draft pick Jameis Winston in the facility on Monday, but Wilson is definitely the most attractive of the two. Will Steelers players welcome Aaron Rodgers into locker room? By Alex Kozora posted on March 20, 2025 at 5:20 a.m. Will Pittsburgh Steelers players welcome Aaron Rodgers into the locker room? The Pittsburgh Steelers are now 8 days into the 2025 NFL year. They still don't know who their starting quarterback will be. Despite the Minnesota Vikings not throwing their hat into the Rodgers ring, a decision still doesn't seem likely to come anytime soon. Angst is building outside and inside the Steelers building. Face of the franchise Cam Hayward made that clear with his "who cares" sentiment on his podcast, declining to recruit Rodgers and effectively telling him to sign or not. That's not a philosophical stance. Hayward recruited Darius Slay to sign with Pittsburgh. If Hayward feels comfortable saying it out loud, it's easy to imagine how players are talking internally. For the second straight year, Pittsburgh is at the mercy of a long-standing player decision saga. In 2024, it was WR Brandon Ayuk. In 2025, it's QB Aaron Rodgers. A storyline that hopefully won't take months to complete but one that comes at sports' most important position. The longer Rodgers waits, the less it seems like he's all in on Pittsburgh. Reports have already noted that the Steelers are his second choice. Had the Vikings been players, he would have gone to Minnesota. For all of Russell Wilson's warts, and there are many, he's been eager to return to Pittsburgh and didn't drag out his free agent journey. He spoke with the Steelers, made a pit stop to New York, flew into Pittsburgh, and signed. Of course, if Rodgers becomes a Steeler, the rest of the locker room has to roll with it. There's no other choice. And if he and the team play well, all will be forgiven and forgotten. But it doesn't sound like the locker room is thrilled with how any of this has played out. Who could be? Pittsburgh set to go a second straight season with complete turnover at quarterback. Justin Fields, liked by players and coaches, is in New York. Wilson, who at least had the players' respect, is left twisting in the wind despite the Steelers' public comments of wanting him or Fields back. Clearly, a lie. Are you a fan? What do you think about Aaron Rodgers' situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.